Well, joining me now for more, former DHS Senior Advisor Charles Marino. Charles, thanks so much for joining us this afternoon.
Sure.
This ruling now that really puts a hamper on trying to fast-track deportations, do you think it will have much of an effect on ICE operations, and do you think ultimately the administration will prevail in court?
Well, I don't. But in the spirit of what the Department of Homeland Security wants to do, let's remember the Supreme Court had an opportunity several months ago to define what due process was and looks like for immigration cases, and they refused to do it. There is no set rule that says fast-track deportations cannot occur with those in the country illegally that have settled here for a number of years or find themselves in the interior of the country. So I think what you're seeing ICE do here is enforce the true spirit of Title VIII, which is if you are in the country, and especially if you are in the country illegally and committing more crimes or represent a national security threat, your due process is to be determined by the fact that you were in the country illegally, and therefore you are eligible to be deported.
And the administration is ramping up its deportations. Here's what Border Czar Tom Homan had to say about where they are right now.
ICE has made just under 200,000 arrests. There's about 350,000 deportations together with Border Patrol and ICE. This is unprecedented considering the first 4 months of this fiscal year was under Joe Biden, where he wasn't doing anything.
So that's 350,000 deportations. Do you think the administration is satisfied with that progress? Do you think they want to go at an even higher pace?
Well, I don't think they are. If you look at the percentages and the amount of illegals that were allowed into the country, anywhere from 15 to 20 million, there's still a lot more work to do, which is why you're starting to see Washington, D.C. serve as the case study here, not just with respect to bringing down overall crime by enforcing the law, but also including ICE as a part of those operations flooding the streets to enforce the immigration laws of the country. Look, sanctuary cities are protecting some of the most dangerous people in this country, whether they're here legally or illegally. You're going to see the Trump administration flood the playing field. We know that sanctuary policies undercut public safety, undercut our overall homeland security by encouraging and rewarding criminality. It's that simple. So sanctuary cities, for what's coming their way, have nobody to thank but themselves for creating this mess. These are very dangerous cities and states that refuse to enforce the laws, refuse to work alongside federal agencies, and the results and the numbers prove the detrimental effect of that.
And if D.C. is the template, the issue here, of course, is that D.C. is a very special case. It's not in a state. It's not a state at all. But when you go to New York, when you go to Chicago, when you go to some other cities that do have these and the status of a state, how difficult is it going to be for DHS to take what they're doing here and move it to other cities?
Well, I don't think it's going to be very hard, and here's why. I think deep down, the majority of law enforcement want that help from federal law enforcement and from the administration. They want to work together to get these dangerous criminals out of their communities. They want to allow ICE into their detention centers and their jails to more quickly identify these threats. This is the politicians that are preventing good police work, good collaboration between state, local, and federal agencies. So they will be embraced by law enforcement. Any police officer will tell you that more hands towards the problem is a good thing. So they will be welcomed in. Unfortunately, this is all about politics. It's not about good public safety and good homeland security. And I think the American people, Rich, quite frankly, are sick and tired of both experiencing the effects of this and paying for it.
All right. Former DHS Senior Advisor Charles Marino. Charles, thanks for joining us.
Hey, everyone. I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.